Welcome to Inglenook Switching Puzzle in O scale. This will be our second consist for the sector plate turntable. I've taken the liberty of the paper medallion with numbers on them and aligned our switch list. Here are the cars that we'll be taking out of town. We want car number 4 next to the locomotive, car number 2 in the middle, and car number 3 next to the caboose. The cars will be leaving here in town on the sidings, cars number 1 and cars number 5. Remember that where we leave these cars on the siding is not important, as long as they're on the siding. I'm going to do a condensed puzzle, which just uses 5 cars. That means that we have to limit the sidings to 2 cars each. The main track can have 5 cars and a locomotive. The switch lead is limited to 1 locomotive and 2 cars. So those are the rules I'll be following. Let's go ahead and bring our train into town. The first thing I'm going to do is pull out these rod in tubing, which are my indexing and power transfer points for the revolving sector plate railroad. Let's give the train a push. Okay, now our train is lined up and it's in the correct direction to head back to town when we're done with our switching. First thing I'm going to do is try and get car number 4, this flat car, out a little closer to the front of the siding so that we can get it switched later. So I'm going to first leave all the cars on the main line, bring the locomotive forward, undo my power and indexing rods, and I'm going to come and get car number 3. I'm now going to leave car number 3 on the same siding as car number 2. What I'm trying to do here is get car number 4 next to the locomotive, and once it's in that position, I'll use it as an idler car to move the other cars around the layout. The KD couplers are just enough off midline on the curve that they won't couple, so we have to back it down onto the straight sections. I'm now going to leave cars 2 and 3 here. And go back and get car number 4 as my idler car. Car number 4 is now next to the locomotive, which is where we wanted it in our consist. We can imagine that we're blocking the train for our next destination when we do this. So now I'll come back to the main line and I'll start to clear the cars off the main line that need to go into the sidings. Again, the Inglenook puzzle says the switching lead can only have a locomotive and 2 cars. So I'll first get car number 5, the flat car. And move it to the siding. Now I'll come get car number 1 off of the main line and get it into a siding. So we now have cars number 1 and car number 5 left on a siding here in town. And that's what we had hoped to accomplish. Now let's go set up our block consist for the train to leave town. We can see that we now need car number 3 to be next to the caboose. Fortunately, it's the first car here on this other siding. We can only take car number 3 and car number 4 at this time because of the limitations of the condensed Inglenook switching puzzle, which only allows a locomotive and 2 cars on the switching lead. So we now have car number 3 next to the caboose and car number 4 next to the locomotive, as our consist list does from the randomly generated numbers. Just one more car to pick up. Car number 2. We now have car number 3 next to the caboose, car number 2 in the middle, car number 4 next to the locomotive. So we'll call out our brakeman, have him hook up the air hoses, pump up the brakes, check with our conductor, and then we'll leave town. Thanks for joining me for another Inglenook switching puzzle in Rosedale.